and you come back to me.
And joining us now is a podiatrist who has been at the leading edge of foot care treatments for decades. And Dr. Hartley Milchin, you are a very important person when it comes to walking.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be back with both of you.
Thank you. So Christine has lots of foot questions because we know she loves her open-toe shoes and we know she has bunions. But you have a great special treatment, which she tells everyone.
I have the ugliest feet on earth, and I am addicted to flip-flops, which I know are bad for me, bad for my feet, but I'm never giving them up. So I've given up smoking. And I did that 6 years ago. So I'm keeping flip-flops. In the whole scheme of things. Right?
I have no problems with flip-flops or sandals for occasional use. But if you're going for long-distance walks, let's say you're going to CNE, Wonderland, you're walking in New York for a weekend, then really you should be wearing a good shoe like an athletic shoe. Mm-hmm. But around the house, a sandal, a flip-flop, I'm okay with that.
But my feet get sweaty when I go out and I'm wearing shoes, especially on hot weather like this, and I hate that feeling in the shoes.
That's a real problem. We deal with dry, cracked feet, not only in the winter when there's less humidity in the air, but in the summer when we're more active, we can lose a lot of perspiration through our feet, and we have to re-moisturize our feet to keep them soft and supple. And one of the newest products is called CeraVe. It's a foot cream that's just been introduced. It's on all the drugstore shelves. And the beauty about the cream is that it has a lot of the ingredients that comprise the natural skin. And they have a proprietary or patented method of delivery so that when you apply it, it keeps these ingredients in the skin for 24 hours. Because a lot of people believe that if they put on body cream on their feet, it's going to work also. But it can't, because the skin on the feet is about 20 times thicker than anywhere else. So it's not going to penetrate. It's not going to re-moisturize. So the cream that was introduced is the CeraVe cream, and I've had the opportunity to use it for many, many months. The feedback from my patients has been wonderful.
Let me ask you about going barefoot, because you're not a huge fan of that because people contract things.
I'm not a fan of barefoot either in the house or outdoors. And especially in moist environments, a lot of people are in public showers, they're at the gym, they're around the pool. And I recommend you wear flip-flops or sandals because you can develop things like plantar's warts, which is a virus, very difficult to treat, especially on the foot because we put so much weight on the bottom of the foot and the virus gets pushed higher and higher and becomes very resistant. So it's not unheard of to be treating that virus for many months or many years.
You said barefoot indoors. I mean, the first thing I do when I get home is kick off my shoes and wiggle my toes.
You might not believe this, but I see patients who will get a fiber from a carpet or a pet hair that pierces the skin. I'm not sure how, but it happens. And what the body does is it tries to wall off this foreign object, and it becomes infected, inflamed, very painful, and they have to visit a doctor to have it removed.
So what are some of the timely toe treatment trends that you see in clinic?
During this time of the month? Well, during this time of the month, women and men are exposing their feet to open-toed shoes, which generally they don't in the winter months because they're enclosed in boots. And one of the biggest problems I see in my clinic is bunions. And bunions are those huge bumps that are behind the big toe, and the big toe starts going towards the small toes.
But Hartley, aren't those issues that are created often by closed shoes rather than summer shoes? I mean, we're told wearing heels for women is terrible for your feet.
Not necessarily. Bunions, like a lot of the symptoms that we see as podiatrists, will manifest themselves from a mechanical genetic imbalance in the way we stand and the way we walk. So what happens in the big toe joint is it's not a bump that grows at the side of the foot. The bones over the years start to shift out of alignment. So wearing high heels and bad shoes don't actually create the problem. They just make it worse sooner.
So what's your miracle cure for bunions?
What I do, if we're at the point where we can't put somebody in a prescription orthotic and a good shoe, to be proactive to stop the progression of a bunion, if we don't have that option available anymore, I do a unique procedure in my office that's unlike the traditional hospital procedure that's been around forever. And people don't have the time to be off their feet anymore, miss work. They may have children to look after, etc. So what I do is I do a very fast procedure in my clinic. It usually takes me anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes where I realign the bone. I use local freezing instead of general, and I don't keep people off their feet. I don't even use stitches. So I can do it during a lunch hour. And typically, you would be off your feet for 3-4 months with a traditional type surgery. With the minimally invasive procedure, which I've been doing for many, many years, you don't have to be off your feet. You'll walk throughout the healing process.
So if you've already got a great big bunion, is it going to make it smaller?
It'll eliminate it.
Completely eliminate it?
Yes.
In 20 minutes?
Yes.
I can hear people out there going, how much? And is it covered by OHIP?
Podiatry in Ontario is not covered by OHIP. It is covered by some third-party insurance plans, whether your spouse has it or you have it from your place of employment. But ballpark, it's around $4,500. But
Per bunion?
per bunion.
So that's $9,000 for 2 feet.
That's true. But if you're
Very good.
but for some people, being off work for 3 or 4 months,
Yeah, that's true.
You've got to weigh the benefits.
The other thing, too, is I once inquired about having it done surgically, and my doctor or the orthopedic surgeon said, whatever, unless you have pain, we're not doing it, and it won't be covered. So unless there's crippling pain, no. Just for cosmetic reasons, no.
I say the same to my patients. I'm very honest and open with them. And I tell them, really, if you're having a lot of pain and it's interfering with your lifestyle, with your activities, then it's time to consider a surgical approach on it.
Well, mine aren't painful, but they're just plain ugly.
Spend a day with me and you'll see what ugly is.
Oh, really?
You haven't started your own bunion on Instagram like Dr. Pimple Popper has her thing, and it's hugely popular. You could probably go viral with some very strange bunions. I'm sure. I'm not kidding. I'm really not.
Probably, if I had Instagram.
So how do people find you online? How do they get in touch with you?
My website is accentonfeet.com.
When we come back, a Canadian jazz crooner, Robert Ball, with a special message and song. This is What She Said, and you're listening on the Jewel Network. Stay with us.